You're listening to the Outer Banks This Week podcast, a place for people to hear what's going on up and down the beach and get the truth about what really goes on around the Outer Banks. So, here we go.
Oh, thank you so much, Lexi. Outer Banks This Week podcast, episode number 94, and it's all brought to you by Kelly's Automotive right here in beautiful Manio on Highway 64. Whether it be a car, a shed, an SUV, a truck, a van. I mean, there's not much Kelly can do over there. And I'm telling you, Kelly and Dakota, both very jolly old souls. Although they're not that old. But they are very jolly. And I mean, it's the season for giving. So why not give the gift of a car or a shed from Kelly's Automotive? Check them out online at kellysobxauto.com. Oh, gosh. What's been up? Hey, the temperatures have been up and down. Here it is, the day of the recording of this podcast. It is wet outside, and it is supposed to be a high of like the low 60s, but not even 4 or 5 days ago, the highs were in the upper 30s and blowing. Yeah. We're getting some, I guess Mother Nature's trying to work out the temperatures right now. It's that time of the year when things are hot and cold, hot and cold. Hopefully they'll level out very soon, but that's just the way it is. I mean, cold last week, not too bad this week. And I mean, I think we're going to hit a little cold snap here at the end of the week. But regardless, it's what it is. It's just Mother Nature trying to get themselves leveled out for the rest of the year. Yeah, I was just looking at the calendar, and this Friday is Friday the 13th. When was the last time there was a Friday the 13th in the month of December? I'm wondering when that was. Is anybody superstitious, really? Like, I'm not that I think I have like little mini superstitions. Mine are more related to sports. I have sports superstitions. As far as like when it comes to like coaching baseball, I remember this past summer when I was helping with the All-Star team, the 10U Dare County All-Star team, the coaches, when we were winning, we wore the same shirts. Now we would wash them. The kids weren't washing their jerseys, though. That was the funny thing. My shirt needed to be washed, though. It stank. And we were wearing the same coaches' jerseys, the same coaches' shirts for every game because we were winning. And I think after we finally lost the game, we changed shirts. But again, is there anybody out there that's like super superstitious? Because if you are, I kind of want to know if you won't walk under a ladder, or you're not going to leave your house on Friday the 13th, or a black cat just crossed your path, or you broke a mirror and now you got 7 years bad luck. Why is it 7 years bad luck, I wonder? Anyway, just little things I think about. So it's a Friday the 13th. We got some much needed rain to our area. I want to say, the Christmas tree lighting last Friday was absolutely phenomenal. Cold, but phenomenal. I was talking to Sarah Woodley from the Island School of Dance. They had a part of the Christmas tree lighting and all the festivities, and the girls were in their costumes for their dances, and they were wearing next to nothing, and it was very cold. And I was talking to Sarah about this at the gym. She's one of our instructors at Rifle, and she was like, it was cold. It was cold. I'm like, I know, Sarah. I was there. It was cold. She's like, it's like the coldest Christmas tree lighting ever. And I'm like, yes, it was. But hey, they did great, honey. They did fantastic. Your girls definitely did a great job. The Mania Christmas Parade was definitely awesome as well. I want to say Austin. I took Austin, and we stood close to the high school where the parade came out of. And he probably got more candy than he did on Halloween. And we still got the candy. I mean, lots of candy canes. Of course, that's one of the main things that's thrown out at a Christmas parade is candy canes. But he also got like some like little Snickers and Reese Cups and Hershey's chocolate bars. I was like, yeah, let me have that. He don't like chocolate. I was like, I'll take that stuff. You can have the rest. So he was happy, and that was a lot of fun. The Winter Wonderland at Man Elementary School was a great time as well. And I mean, it was just all around a pretty good weekend. Got a lot of things done that I needed to get done, and this week's been pretty productive as well. So very happy. Looking forward to all things coming up that are Christmas related here on the Outer Banks. And of course, I'm going to burn through the events and things coming up here in just a little bit. Our guest this week on the podcast, though, super excited about this guy for a second year in a row coming back. Is Santa Claus, making that special trip from the North Pole just to be on the podcast with me. Yes, old Saint Nick. He's busy, I know, and I'm excited to have him back, though. All right, old Saint Nick. He's jolly, and he is going to be on the podcast with me this week. So we're going to talk to him in just a little bit. But I was looking at the news. I'm really not seeing anything in the news that's just jumping off the page at me at the moment. But if you're looking for a great local news source, as I say every week, SamWalkerOBXNews.com, SamWalkerOBXNews.com. If you have a question about the news, Sam Walker is the answer. Woo! Grand slam. Woo, 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 woo. Sam Walker. Yes. Sam Walker, OBXnews.com. And just a great all-around guy, too. He and his wife, they have the Sam and M podcast. It's a phenomenal podcast. Great stuff that they talk about on the show. And they're just all-around fantastic human beings. I can't say enough great things about Sam Walker and his wife, Miss Emily. They're wonderful people. So, Sam Walker, OBXnews.com. I want to thank Brooke Sparks and Mr. Caden Moldovan for being on the podcast with me last week, talking about Wounded Warriors and Action Foundation, the hunting and fishing trip that they do here. I think this is the 14th year they're doing it. If you revert back to the previous podcast and you want to participate, you want to help, you want to donate, all the information is right there in the description. And you can get up with Brooke over at Coast Realty in Nags Head. She'd be happy to get you up to speed with what she needs and what you can do to help. There's not a whole lot. I mean, any little bit help. If you drop off like a thing of toilet paper, she'll be happier than a clam in high tide. Brooke's fantastic. Brooke is a wonderful person. Again, if you can give them assistance, she would greatly appreciate that. Oh gosh, Captain Marty. Yes, hey, some fun things. We're fixing to launch Captain Marty's show again, okay? He used to do a Saturday morning show on the radio in his former life, I guess. Well, would we call it former life? No, it's just his former job. He did a regular Saturday morning radio show. We're not going to be able to do it every Saturday, but we are going to do it once a month. And it's going to be he and I with guests and making phone calls like he did before and talking to different people. So get ready for that. We're going to launch that, I believe, in January. So the Captain Marty Show returning to your ear. Returning. It's going to be streaming now. Instead of it being on an FM dial, it's going to be available on Spotify, Pandora, anywhere where you can get a podcast. And of course, if you already subscribe to Captain Marty, which I hope you have, you'll hear his stories, you'll hear his fishing reports, and you'll get that Saturday show. So we look forward to bringing that back to you. All right, I'm going to jump into some shout outs here in just a few moments, but if you're still looking for that great Christmas gift, somebody that loves to read, somebody that is fascinated with all things Hatteras Island, Miss Jan Dawson would love to get you one of her books, whether it be Storm Season or Hooked on You. Miss Jan, take it away.
Don't you want to unwrap a bit of summertime this holiday season? It might be cold outside, but it's time to head to the Outer Banks in 2 Jan Dawson Hatteras Island romance novels that are sure to warm your heart. Find your favorite reading spot and snuggle up to an old love rekindled in Storm Season or a new romance after heartbreak in Hooked on You. Storm Season even has a Christmas ending. Make sure Santa has these books at the top of your list or make someone's holiday OB Extra special. Available at all Outer Banks bookstores or on Amazon. Just search Jan Dawson.
What a phenomenal lady. I enjoyed interviewing her a few weeks back, or a month or so back, talking to her about her books, her adventures, and things that she's got coming up on the horizon and all the inspiration that she got for writing the book. I mean, just a wonderful person. Really enjoyed talking to her. All right, shout outs. I really only have 2 this week. And if you're a listener, again, I'd love to shout out to you. Podcast at outerbanksthisweek.com. Please send me an email. I love hearing from y'all. I really, really do. Send me an email, please. Podcast at outerbanksthisweek.com. I have 2 this week, real quick. The first one, just yesterday. My wife had a birthday. Yes, she's another year older on December 12th. Nope, 11th. Today's December 12th. December 11th. In 1988, Carrie Elizabeth Mead was born, and I'm very thankful that she was. She's the mother of my children, the love of my life, and I am very thankful for her. she wrote something really nice about me on Facebook the other day, an event that I was a part of, and I got a little choked up. She was really sweet in it, and she's like, "You don't write nice, polished things about me." And I'm like, "Well, honey, you're a hot slice. Like, I see you, and I'm like, dang, what up, girl? Like, that's what comes out." I'm like, "What up, girl?" Like, whenever she could come out of the bedroom from waking up in the morning with her hair all disheveled and her pajamas on. And I'm like, "What up, girl?" I'm sorry. Like, my wife is hot. She's hot. So, like, sometimes I don't say polished things. I don't know what polished things to say. But I will tell you that I love her very much. And I just couldn't move around the world without her. Honestly, I couldn't move about my life without her. And Carrie, if you're listening, which someone's probably going to tell you because it's not, she's like, "I don't really listen to your podcast because I hear your mouth enough as it is." So somebody, if you know my wife, let her know that I love her, please. And that I'm glad that she's in my life, and I just don't know what I'd do without her. So, honey, I love you very much. The other one is for my nephew, whose birthday is today, December the 12th. My nephew turns 3. Little Finny boy. Finn Bateman, my brother's son, turns 3 years old today. And, of course, I call him Finny boy. I'm like, and my mom, she's Finny boy. So I say to him, like, Finny boy. And anyway, I want to say a little happy birthday to my nephew, Finn. There's a power struggle going on right now because we watch a lot of college football between my brother and I. We've never really had an NFL team growing up. We didn't really, watched the Cowboys, watched the Redskins, watched, whomever was doing good at the time. But we never really had like a team that was ours. Finn is in so there's a good handful of folks. Like my uncle, we got my buddy Uncle Ray. Uncle Ray's a huge Cowboys fan. Uncle Ray is buying him all Cowboys gear. There's another gentleman by the name of St. Michael that's getting him all Ravens gear. And then there's Uncle Pim. Uncle Pim is getting him all Steelers gear. So one day I'll go over to my brother's house. He's wearing a Cowboys jersey. The next day I go over there, he's wearing a Ravens jersey. And the next day, my nephew is wearing a Steelers jersey. You should walk in, you're like, where am I? Whose house is this? What are you really a fan of? So right now they're all trying to get Finn to be a specific team, NFL team favorite. So anyway, happy birthday to Finn. Going to take a real quick break. Then we're going to talk to Santa Claus. He's fixing to come in the door here in just a few moments. He's not coming down the chimney because I don't have a chimney in my office. Otherwise, he'd come down that. But he's coming through the door here in just a little bit. But hey, jewelry, diamonds are a girl's best friend. Jewelry is something that you really can't go wrong with for that special lady in your life. And if you're looking for some, I'm telling you where you want to go. And that's the Silver Bonsai Gallery here in Manteo.
Hello, this is Catherine of the Silver Bonsai Gallery in Manteo, North Carolina. My husband Ben and I would like to welcome you to explore our stunning collection of handmade treasures. Over the past 26 years, we have gathered a fantastic collection of art, jewelry, unique gifts, and more for every occasion. Enjoy a glimpse into our modern heirloom goldsmithing studio, where we create daily to keep our cases full of beautifully crafted silver, gold, and platinum jewelry. See the art of hand engraving and masterful goldsmithing techniques in action as you view our collections of ceramic, woodwork, metalwork, and more. And why wait? Visit us online at silverbonsai.com to see more right away. And of course, we will look forward to seeing you in person soon at Silver Bonsai on Manteo's main highway.
All right, this is really exciting for me, especially because it's not often you get celebrities, like big time celebrities in your studio. Yes, I've interviewed Peanut from 311. Yes, I've interviewed Nico Moon. I've interviewed a handful of folks throughout my career, but it's not often that I get the man himself, the Father Christmas, as they like to call him, the jolliest elf of them all, to join me on my show. And if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm talking about Santa Claus, boys and girls. I have Santa in the studio with me today.
Ho, right. Ho, ho.
Santa, how the heck are you?
I'm good. I am so happy that you're having me on your podcast. The Outer Banks is one of my favorite places. You'll see me around here in the summer especially.
Really?
Because I love the Outer Banks.
You do love the Outer Banks, don't you? Yes. Well, that was one of my questions, Santa. So, again, thank you for being here. I'm glad that you are able to be here. I know this is a very busy time of year for you. You're gearing up for a big day here in a few weeks. You're going to be making trips around the world and all over the place. But again, thank you for giving me a few minutes. And, as you just said, you love the Outer Banks. Now, I know it's tough to get down here at this time of the year. You are making a few trips we'll talk about here in just a few moments. But when you're able to relax, you're not on business, which I guess you're kind of on business all the time. You're always on, you get approached, I'm sure, even when you're not, at this time of the year. But when you're able to escape with Mrs. Claus, or even by yourself for that matter, if you're able to get away and you come to the Outer Banks, like tell me some of the things you love about the Outer Banks.
Well, obviously, I love the beach.
Of course.
I do love the beach. Now, it's a little difficult when I'm wearing what I call the big red suit.
Yes.
That's a little hot to wear on the beach. So if you happen to see me in the summer, I'll probably be wearing a Hawaiian shirt, maybe a straw hat, because that's the right thing to wear on the beach. Now, as far as things I like to do, I love the aquarium.
The aquarium? Really?
One of my favorite things to do is to sit and watch those otters play.
Right there in the north end of Mania.
That is so much fun. But that's one of the things. Oh, and then when they're feeding the sharks, or someone's in the tank with the sharks.
Okay.
That's a good time too. So that's one of the places Santa has seen the Lost Colony several times. Times over the years. The first time, I think, was back in 1978. The first time Santa saw the whole show.
Wow.
And it has changed and evolved, but it's a good show, and the people that work that really work hard, I know.
Wow.
So let's see. Other places that I like, a couple of really restaurants that I really like are Blue Water. For example, if Santa goes up there, they take care of Santa.
Okay, so Blue Water right there at Pirates Cove, right upstairs at the top of the ship store.
That's right. And another one of my favorites is a small restaurant. It's called Food Dudes.
Food Dudes. Interesting.
They have a great menu, and once again, the places that I go, people, they know me.
They know you.
So they take care of Santa.
Okay, excellent. So you walk in and it's like, he's here.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we got this, because they don't want to end up on the naughty list.
It's like that old TV show, Cheers.
Cheers.
When Norm would come in, everyone would shout his name.
Yes, everyone knows your name.
So and downtown in Manteo is one of the most delightful places just to walk around. I mean, you've got the water there, you've got the lighthouse, you have all the shopping you could possibly want, including the bookstore.
Yeah. You got a real nice bookstore downtown.
Yeah, I really like that bookstore. So those are some of the things that Santa does when he's here. But probably some of the most important things that Santa does is to meet with the children.
Yes, of course.
And that's of course, my favorite. Someone will come up, even in the summer, if I'm wearing my Hawaiian shirt and walking around, they'll come up, and I'll usually be able to hand out some stickers in the summer. Of course, this time of year, I've got candy canes.
Yes, you gave me one when you came in.
I don't go anywhere without candy canes. And the reason, or the way, I guess, perhaps, the way I'm able to do this is I have a magic car.
Tell me about this magic car.
You may have seen it running around. It's got reindeer on the side. It also has Christmas lights.
Is that
on
you?
the side. Yes, that's my car. That's my magic car. And the thing about the magic car is I can get in that car, and as soon as I'm out of sight of anyone, I just flick my nose, and I'm at the North Pole. I mean, it's instantaneous.
Wow.
So I'm able to make a lot of trips that way, that that I would not have been able to otherwise.
Yeah, so yeah, with that sleigh, I mean, you can't fly the sleigh everywhere. So the magic car, I'm assuming that the elves, one of your elves had to have really come up with that idea and put that all together for you.
That's true. That's true. Now, the thing about the sleigh is the sleigh and the reindeer can only fly on Christmas Eve.
Okay.
Interesting. It's a one day. I mean, they do a lot of training during the week. Rudolph kind of runs them through their exercises.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And, but they can only fly on Christmas Eve. So up to that time is simply getting things ready.
Okay. All right. So basically, what you're saying is they kind of do like a reindeer boot camp a few weeks out from Christmas to make sure that they know how to properly execute the maneuvers while they're flying.
Yes. I mean, it's like the song says, reindeer games.
Games.
The reindeer games are actually training.
Okay. Okay.
So,
that's interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't know that they did that. That's really cool. All right, so Santa, let me ask you this. Now, you have millions and millions of children that sit on your lap on a regular basis. You know, I was wondering, like, I've always been curious as to some funny from the lap of Santa type stories, maybe like an interesting request that you've gotten before, maybe some smart aleck kid trying to prove that you're not really him or what. Like, would you be willing to share some of these stories?
I do indeed have a few stories. And in fact, I've written some down here because, you know, I have to keep lists.
Yes.
You know, we talk about the good list and the naughty list, and I have to keep lists. Well, this is a list of some of the stories that I thought you might find interesting.
Okay.
You'll have to stop me if I go on too much.
No, you just take off, Santa. I'm not going to slow you down.
For example, this last week I was out at the Christmas shop.
Okay.
One of my favorite places to be. And along came this lady with triplets. Little boys that were, I think she told me they were 4 months old. Triplets. And
wow.
We got all three of them on Santa's lap. And it was good because what it reminded me, I used to work with I haven't recently, but I used to work with a newborn ICU unit.
Really?
And what we would do is I would go in around Christmas time, would take a day, and we would take pictures of all the babies that were going to be in over Christmas.
Wow.
So mom and dad would have a picture of their littles. Now, and because these were ones that were in the infant ICU, we had twins. I had more than one set of triplets. I remember one set of triplets. It was just one of my favorite pictures. I had the two boys, one in each arm, and the girl was laying in my beard.
Okay.
It was just a cool picture. So triplets kind of ticked that off again. Then there was a little girl that came in and she told me, she said, I asked, as I usually do, what would you like for Christmas? And she said, I want a pony.
Pony?
I said, okay, tell me, do you have a place for a pony? You know, you can't keep it in your bedroom, you know.
Of course.
And she said, oh, yeah. She said, my neighbor can come over and build us a shed, a stable out in the backyard.
Okay.
I said, that's the kind of neighbor to have.
It is.
So I think one of my favorites from this last weekend, I had a little boy that came up and I said, what do you want for Christmas? And he says, I want a love thing for mom and a Lego set for daddy and me.
Okay.
Okay. Tell me what you mean by a love thing. And he says, oh, it's a heart you can put on the wall. I said, oh, well, that's very nice.
Yeah.
You know, the things he thought of were something for his parents.
That's awesome.
That was
cute.
pretty cool.
Yes.
One time, it's been several years ago now, I was sitting in this place. I think it was Montgomery, Alabama.
Oh, okay.
I was sitting in this store, sitting there, and we had a line, and I happened to overhear two little boys that were in line. One of them turned to the other one, and he said, "Why doesn't Santa have a Southern accent?"
Why doesn't Santa?
Think about that. And obviously, I don't have a Southern accent. Huh. And so he turned, the other little boy turns back to him and said, "Well, he's from the North Pole."
Yeah.
Which is exactly right.
Yes.
The North Pole is in every time zone.
It is, isn't it?
It is, because we're right there at the top where all the time zones come together. Let's see. Okay, this is one of my favorite stories. This little girl comes up to me. She's probably about 7.
Okay.
Sits on my lap, and she said, "I want some wings for Christmas."
Wings.
I said, oh, like princess wings. She shakes her head, "No, I want real wings so I can fly." Now, her mom is standing back there about 3 or 4 feet, and I can see her mom is nodding. It's like, oh, this is what she wants. She wants real wings. And I'm just, the thought that crossed my mind was, Christmas morning is going to be rough.
Yes.
Because, so what I asked her was, I said, "Well, how old are you?" And she said, "I'm 8. I said, "Well, the thing about wings is it's kind of like a driver's license. You have to have a license to fly wings, and that means you have to be 12 years old."
Okay.
So you come back when you're 12 and we'll talk about the wings. And her mom goes, "Oh yes, thank you.
That was a good save. That saved that one for sure.
I had a little girl Sunday. She wanted a Barbie dream house.
Barbie dream house, of course.
Said, "Okay." I said, "How many Barbies do you have?" And she said, "Oh, about 80.
80 Barbies.
Her mom says, "Yes, that's true, but some of them are, the little tiny ones."
Yes.
I said, "Okay. Let's see."
I can tell you, I was thinking about the situation of, wanting the kid wanting to get something for his mom and his dad, asking Santa for something for his mom and his dad. That makes me think about my oldest, Austin, because he was starting to write his Christmas list this year.
Oh,
and
right.
he started putting things on his list for his little brother.
Oh, that's great.
And I was like, well, Austin, we can get Murray's list ready for him. You put what you want. He's like, well, I want him to have these things. And I'm like, I know you do. I love that you have that giving heart, but I want you to put things on your list that you want, and we will help him with his list.
There we go.
So that made me think about that.
That's some good parenting, I guess. That'll keep you on the nice list for a while.
I hope so. Anyway, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's all right. And it reminds me of another story.
Okay.
There was this little girl, because, of course, obviously you get a lot, and they're talking about Legos or Barbie dream houses. I mean, those are probably amongst American Girl dolls. Those are, again, the things that come up all the time. But this little girl came up and she said, "I want just one thing. I want my grandma's dog to get well, so that grandma won't be sad anymore."
Oh, wow.
And I thought, that touched old Santa's heart.
Oh, yeah, I bet it did. Wow. That's sweet.
I have another story for you about a pink bike.
A pink bike?
Actually, there's a pink bike, and there's another about a pink scooter. The pink bike, I was out at, it's the Tillett Center now. I used to refer to it as the Dare Center.
Yes.
And they have an evening when they have gifts for all the kids that are signed up to come in.
Okay.
It's not toys for tots, but it's similar to that.
Right. Okay.
And it's a case where some really nice people have donated things and so on. So we're there, and this little girl probably about 5, she came up to me and sat on my lap, and she said she wanted a pink bicycle for Christmas. Well, I can see, again, I have one eye that I'm watching the parents usually. Because one of the things I try and do is not promise them something that I can't.
Of course.
I can't come through.
Of course.
Santa does his best, but
of course.
I remember there was one year it was the PlayStations or something that we were short on parts.
Oh,
and there
gosh.
were a lot of those we weren't able to fulfill. But anyway, so she wanted a pink bike. Like I said, I had one eye on her mom, and her mom is shaking her head. That's not going to happen this year. But I told her, as I always do, I said, well, we'll see what we can do.
There you go.
So that's the first part of the way they run things there. And then on that particular Christmas, they had I think maybe half of the bicycles they needed. And so they raffled them off. So we go into the other room, and they're presenting the toys and the gifts and so on. And this little girl came up, and they announced that she had won. And they bring this bike out. It's got a pink seat. It's got pink streamers on it.
No kidding.
It was just, and it was, like I said, this wasn't set up ahead of time. It was
the magic
somebody
of Christmas.
bigger than I did some intervention there. And so she got her pink bike. So she and her mom took it and the stuff and went off. And
That's awesome.
And then I looked up about a minute later. She came running in full speed and ran right up to me and grabbed me around. And she says, "Thank you, Santa. Thank you, Santa."
That's sweet. That is so sweet. I know that totally warmed your heart.
It was just... And then the story about the pink scooter is there was another little girl who was maybe about 7, and I had known this little girl for a long time.
Okay.
For maybe 5 years or so. And she was one of the ones that would not come and see Santa. If she wouldn't speak to me, so on. And it happened at this particular Christmas. I made a stop at Cookies and Cream. Oh, that's another one of my favorite places.
Cookies and Cream.
Yeah, they have great ice cream.
Yes.
Oh man.
Talking about over there in Nag's Head, correct? Is
Yes.
that the right one? Yes.
Their milkshakes are.
You got that right.
So anyway, so I happened to be at Cookies and Cream, and she saw me there, and she came in, sat up on my lap, and said, "I would like a pink scooter."
Okay.
I said, "Okay, well, we'll see what we can do about that." About 2 days later, we were at the Tillett Center, and they were doing the same thing, except this time they had enough bicycles. There have been some great donations there.
Okay.
And they had enough bicycles and scooters and so on for everyone. And she came up, and sure enough, she got a pink scooter.
Oh, wow.
Her grandma happened to be sitting next to me, representing Mrs. Claus, because Mrs. Claus is usually very busy riding herd on the elves when I'm down here.
Okay.
So anyway, so her grandma was sitting next to me. Her grandma turned to her and said, "See what happens when you speak to Santa?"
Ha There you go. There, hey, little food for thought for some of the kids out there.
I had one little boy once who asked for a box of bugs.
A box of bugs?
A box of bugs.
Oh, gosh. Any specific kind of bugs or just bugs?
His dad was with him, and he said, "Yeah, he's really into this
bug collection type stuff."
What do you call it? I want to say etymology. That's not the right word.
No, I know what you're talking about, though.
Study of bugs.
Yes.
Study of insects and so on. And I said, okay. But he wanted a box of bugs. And there was another little girl. She came up. She said, I asked her, "What do you want for Christmas?" She says, I want pink.
Pink.
Okay. Pink ribbon, pink scooter, pink bicycle. What? No, just pink. I want pink. Okay. All right. So, the one thing I have to tell you is sometimes the children will bring things for Santa, and that's fun. That's nice. I think one of my favorites was this little boy about 3 came up and he handed me this. It was tissue paper. It was, like the kind you stick in gifts to. And something was wrapped in it. He said, "Santa, I want you to have this." Okay. I said, "Is it okay if I open it now?" So, and he said, "Oh, yeah." So I opened it, and what it was the tiniest nativity scene I have ever seen.
No kidding.
Actually a little smaller than a dime.
Wow.
I mean, it stood about an inch tall, maybe.
If that, yeah.
And that's one of my favorite gifts I've ever gotten. So,
wow.
Oh, let's see. I had one little girl that came and she wanted an earring.
An earring?
I said, "Okay."
Just one?
I said, "One earring?" "Oh, no, I want one for each ear." "Oh, 3 then," I said.
Yeah.
You have to, I try and joke with the children and just to make it a good time for them.
Yes.
Because as I've mentioned in the past, to me, when that child is sitting on my lap, I try to make them aware that they are the most important person in the world to me.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, you do a great job of it, that's for sure.
So I don't know if I told you. Would you want any more stories?
Well, you've given me a few. We need to save some for the next time I have you in here.
All right, that'll be fine.
So,
it's like I said, I have a hard time remembering them all. I have to write them down sometimes because Mrs. Claus, as soon as I come back to the North Pole, she wants to know about them.
Okay. Of course she does.
Well, she has to keep her list because she actually is the one that has the list of all the gifts everyone wants. She has a huge spreadsheet.
Really?
She uses. So
spreadsheets.
So I have to go back, and anyone gives me a list, I take it to her. She enters it in her computer, and
okay. So Mrs. Claus is with the times.
oh yeah,
I got it.
Yeah.
Got the shared.
She's probably
docs
more technically aware than I am.
Well, I know that she has her hands full too. Because, like you said, when you're down here collecting all the information and you take it back to her, and even though it's not like she's on a break while you're down here, I mean, she's cooking for the elves. She's making sure Rudolph is running the Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and the rest of them through the gauntlet to make sure that they can properly execute their maneuvers for Christmas Eve. I mean, she's got to keep a track on all that stuff, keep a check on it all.
The one we've got to watch out for is Blitzen.
Blitzen. What in the world's wrong with Blitzen?
He's the Joker.
Of course.
He is the Joker.
There's always one.
And he is always doing practical jokes. And, you can't tie a reindeer's shoelaces together, but there are things he will tie a couple of the other, who is it he's always picking on? Well, Dasher. He's always picking on Dasher.
Dang.
Because Dasher is pretty fast.
Do those two, do they butt heads a lot?
Well, and it's not animosity, but it's kind of all a playful thing. But
okay.
But Blitzen is the one you have to keep an eye on.
Well, do you have I don't want you to, I don't know, this is a fair question, but do you have a favorite reindeer, or do you love them all equally? Everybody likes to say that Rudolph is your reindeer, but I don't know.
Well, Rudolph's the lead reindeer.
Okay.
But all of the others have their high points.
Okay.
Things that they're good at and things that I love them for. but I'm not going to pick one out.
Okay. All right. I was going to,
Because
that's what
I get back up there, I'm liable to get kicked.
You're liable to get kicked, or maybe a present left for you. There's no telling what kind of present they would leave for you of any sort. So okay, fair enough. Don't need to do that. Okay, I have this debate with my wife. Okay, and maybe you can help me settle this. I believe that she's a classic. Okay, we've got to leave out cookies and milk for Santa. Of course, we're going to do that. But she wants to leave out your traditional chocolate chip. And I told her, I said, honey, you can't leave chocolate chip cookies. We got to do something. We got to leave them peanut butter cookies because every other house in the world is leaving him chocolate chip. I'll guarantee you that he doesn't even taste it anymore by the time he gets to our house in Wanchese. How about we leave him some peanut butter cookies to give him a little bit of something different and give him a variety? And she's like, no, we're leaving chocolate chip. So I told her, I said, well, I'm going to bake some cookies and they're going to be peanut butter ones. So if you want to leave him chocolate chip ones, you can. So that's the question. Is there a cookie preference, or how should I handle this debate with her?
Well, I got to tell you, Santa loves all cookies.
Okay, good to know.
All cookies. And one thing you could do to handle that would be to leave both.
Leave both. Okay.
That's just one possible solution. I was going to bring my magic key to show you. I have a magic key.
What?
Yes, because if you think about it, there are a lot of places that don't have fireplaces.
It's true. I don't have one.
A lot of houses don't. So what am I going to do? So I have this magic key. That magic key will open any door in the world on Christmas Eve. It, like the sleigh and the reindeer, only works on Christmas Eve. So you don't have to leave your front door unlocked for me to get in.
It's good to know.
Because I have a magic key that will get me in.
Okay. All right. That's good to know because I have left the door unlocked because I was like, because I've had this question to my children. Or my oldest, rather, he's like, Daddy, how is Santa going to get in if you lock the door? And I'm like, good point. I will leave it unlocked.
I would just use my magic key. Now, I have a question for you.
No. Look.
The thing is, over the years, I have left you a lot of different gifts.
Yes, you have.
What was your favorite?
That's not a fair question, Santa. I don't like this question. I really enjoyed getting the Nintendo game California Games back in 1989 for my Nintendo. That was a cool game.
Oh yeah,
my Super Scope 6 for my Super Nintendo back in the 90s. That was always cool.
Nintendo had changed the whole landscape.
They did.
Yeah,
they did. However, there is one gift I got from Santa that actually didn't come on Christmas.
Oh.
I didn't realize who I was talking to one day when I was talking about Christmas. This was last year over the summer, and I had run into you. We happened to be in the same place at the same time, and you and I were talking, and I did not put, because you weren't in your suit, I didn't realize who it was. And I had made the comment where Christmas had come up. And again, I'm still not putting two and two together in my head that I'm talking to Santa. And Christmas had come up.
I don't know. Santa pretty much looks, he's got this white beard.
He does. But I just wasn't thinking about it at the time. It just wasn't. But the topic of Christmas had come up. And I said, there's one thing I've always wanted. And I've had one in the past, but it wasn't a very good one. And I want another one. I said, I want a Santa suit that I can put on and just, wear for whatever reason, like just to do it with, at Christmas time, if there's, somebody's having a Christmas party and I can help fill that gap for, you, if you can't get there, that sort of thing. And, and I saying this to you, not thinking about you being Santa, you made a note of this and you made a special effort to.
I think I brought it on your birthday, wasn't it?
You did. I was at Manio High School at the football game, and next thing you know, someone sneaks in there, and you're like, "Happy birthday! Here's your Santa suit."
Yeah.
And I was elated. That to me is probably one of my most treasured favorite gifts that I've gotten from Santa. Now, let me just say, kids, it's not going to make these special trips like this, okay? This was a one-time thing that will likely never happen again. But I am very appreciative of that gift that you gave me.
Well, and it happened to work out just right because one of the things I do occasionally is I have a friend that runs the concession stand there, Tim Willis.
Tim Willis, yes.
Yeah, and so every
He does
once
kind of look like an elf. Anyway,
yeah, that's what he has, but he has a great suit. It's not a Santa suit, but I'll have to send you a picture of his suit. Anyway,
okay.
So every once in a while, I will go down and I help Tim out on a football Friday, work the concession window. So you might, and the other place you might see me sometime is the concession stand at the Lost Colony. Both of these are real nice places to be because I get to see a lot of kids.
Excellent. Yes. Well, that to me is one of my most treasured, highlighted gifts that I've ever gotten from Santa, and I greatly appreciate that.
That's great.
So much. I haven't gotten it out yet this year, but it's coming out very soon. Well, Santa, I was honestly with the cookie question, I was thinking, because I mean, these are one more little piece to go off with the cookies. What type of, is there a special kind of milk that you prefer? 2% whole milk, skim, almond milk? There's a couple different kinds these days. It's not like it was, 100 some odd years ago when all you got was like straight from the cow. There's pasteurized.
I tell you, I will let you in on the secret.
Uh-oh.
Santa's favorite is eggnog.
Eggnog.
Now, not alcoholic eggnog.
Okay.
I'm talking about just regular eggnog that you can buy at the grocery store.
Okay. That's good to know. You hear this, parents? These are good little tips for Christmas Eve when you're leaving those things out for Santa.
He's managed to pull out some of Santa's secrets.
Okay. Hey, I just, again... Well, Santa, hey, I don't know if we left any mental stone unturned here, but I can say I am greatly appreciative of you being here, taking some time out of your busy schedule. Oh, speaking of schedule, is there anything coming up that, if kids were wanting to get an opportunity to sit on your lap and tell you about what they would like for Christmas? Is there anything coming up that you would be willing to share where you would be? I know you're all over the place. But here locally, for example, where's somewhere where maybe they can find you?
Yeah, there are a lot of appearances that I'm going to be making here locally, but probably the most obvious one is I will be at the Christmas shop.
Okay.
Every Saturday afternoon in December.
Okay.
Until Christmas.
Okay. Every Saturday afternoon until Christmas.
That's probably the best way to catch me. I have a few restaurants that I will be at Blue Water a couple of times.
Okay.
And Blue Moon. That's another nice restaurant.
Blue Moon. I haven't been in the new one yet.
Yeah. It's really nice. And I've been there once in the new place, and they have a huge Christmas tree.
Really?
That I swear has an ornament on every branch.
No kidding.
Pretty cool. I mean, Santa does know Christmas trees.
Oh, yes, he does. He definitely does. Well, again, Santa, thank you for sharing some time with me today. I know you got to get back to the North Pole. I know, Mrs. Claus, she tries to hold on to you as much as she can this time of the year, but she does know you're a busy, busy individual. So again, thank you so much for giving me some time, and Merry Christmas to you.
Well, thanks for having me here. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed our conversation, even though I leaked a couple of secrets.
Oh,
You're still on the nice list for
Yes.
now.
Yes.
Remember, though, you have to, it continues until Christmas.
Come and experience the magic of the Christmas Shop and General Store in Manio. The Christmas Shop and General Store has been an Outer Banks destination for over 57 years and was voted the #1 Christmas store in North Carolina. With rooms like the Barn, full of Christmas favorites, we'll personalize any ornament for free. And the Coastal Room, with all of your Outer Banks Christmas decorations to memorialize your trip. There's a Halloween room that will rival any haunted house. And a General Store with an assortment of homemade candies, sweets, and other local treats. The Christmas Shop is now doing wine tastings daily from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. and is offering wines by the glass to sip on while you shop. The Christmas Shop and General Store in Manio, creating magical memories with exciting experiences since 1967.
The Christmas Shop. As I've mentioned time and time again, if you haven't been to the Christmas Shop in Manio, you're missing it. What a magical place. You can't go in there and not smile. I'm telling you right now, it's just one of those places you walk in and it's like, the smell, it smells like Christmas in there. Your face lights up because you just see so many like neat things and just so much wonderful Christmas. Anyway, if you haven't been to the Christmas Shop, just go. All right, we're going to jump into some events real quick. I'm going to take a look and see what's coming up here between now and Christmas. Lots of different things. I mean, I always say this to lead off, support your local high school and middle school athletics, whether it be wrestling, basketball, swimming, things that are going on right now. Excuse me, got the hiccups. Please support those. That could be your Super Bowl. That could be their WrestleMania. It could be their NBA Finals. It could be their Olympic swimming trials or whatever. So please go show them some love and support at all the high school and middle school levels. Trivia nights, live music all across the board, karaoke nights, they're all over the place, and we have them all listed up right now at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. Tickets for the Dare Education Foundation's Dueling Piano Signature event are on sale right now. It's the Dueling Pianos, as I just said. Go online to dareeducationfoundation.org for more information on that. It's at 108 Budley here in downtown Manio. Last year, it was a phenomenal time. This year, going to be even better. So dareeducationfoundation.org for more information on that and how you can buy tickets. The Misfit Bars are in full swing, and from what I understand, everybody's having a fantastic time. Make sure you go listen to the standalone podcast we did for the Misfit Bars, or for more information, you can go online to misfitsobx.com. Actually, I believe next week we're going to have a little rundown of what's going on with the Misfit Bars. Ooh, that'll be fun. All right, trivia night with me at McGrath's Burger Shack. That's every Wednesday night starting at 6 o'clock. Guaranteed fun. I'm also doing trivia nights at Juan Cheese Marina on Friday nights, starting at 6 o'clock as well. So you get 2 opportunities to hang out with me, play some trivia, and win some fantabulous prizes. Let's take a look at some other things that are going on around the Outer Banks. Grandma's Attic Christmas at Pony and the Boat. They're part of the Misfit Bars. What is this? Oh my, let's read about this real quick. Grandma's Attic Christmas sale at Pony and the Boat. It's coming up on Friday, December the 13th from noon until 8. Bonanza of holiday treasures, the perfect shopping experience for last minute gifts, unique holiday decor, and one-of-a-kind treasures for you and your home. So that's Friday the 13th. There you go, Friday the 13th from noon until 8. Let's take a look here. Oh, Brews and Arts Holiday Market going on. I believe that's at the Brewing Station. Yes, it is. Outer Banks Brewing Station in Kill Devil Hills. It's another round of Brews and Art at the Outer Banks Brewing Station. You can join them to sip your favorite brews and shop for local holiday gifts. That's coming up also on Friday the 13th. That's from 4 until 7. So you can hit Grandma's Attic and then at Pony and the Boat and then go on over to Outer Banks Brewing Station. Let's see. You can do Breakfast with Santa. This is going on Saturday morning, December 14th in Hatteras Village at the Hatteras Village Civic Center. At the Hatteras Civic Center from 8 until 11:30. Adult tickets are $15. Children ages 5 to 12 are $6. Children under the age of 5 are free. So you can, all the proceeds are going to benefit the Hatteras Community Preschool. You can have breakfast with Santa Claus, and there's a little QR code that you can scan online for that. Again, everything I'm talking about is online at outerbanksthisweek.com. If you click on the events tab, it's all right there. You can, there's a meet and greet going on with the Frozen characters on the 14th, Saturday, December 14th from noon until 2 at the Bruin Station. If you like the Frozen characters, Elsa, Anna, Kristoff. What's the name of that daggum moose? Is it a moose? Olaf? No. I don't know. Yeah, I have boys. Although Austin he did like Frozen. But anyway, regardless. All right, Soundside Holiday Market at the, where is this going on? Look at this. Soundside Holiday Market, noon until 4. It's Nag's Head. It doesn't say where. Oh, it's at the Soundside event site. The Soundside Market. Santa Claus, Buddy the Elf's going to be out there. The Grinch. There's going to be over 60 local vendors and makers out there. So that's something that you can do. That's coming up on Sunday, December 15th from noon to 4. Sunday brunch at the Fire Tender. Hey, that's going on from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. also on, this coming Sunday. The Fire Tender's that new restaurant right there at Hotel Mania, which was the former Elizabethan Inn, in case you were wondering. Oh, let's scroll down and look a little bit more. Hey, Wright Brothers Day. That's coming up Tuesday, December 17th from starting at 9 o'clock right there at the Wright Brothers Monument in Kill Devil Hills. There's something that you can go and do. Oh, gosh. Oh, First Flight High School is doing a holiday market. How about that? Tuesday, December 17th from 4 to 7 at First Flight High School. I have to go check that out. Oh, gosh. Again, there's so many different things. I'm trying to kind of pick apart some of the other ones, some of the different ones that are kind of jumping off the page at me right now. But there's different holiday markets, there's different events, there's different live music opportunities for you to go and be a part of. Jeremy Russell is going to be at Buffalo City Distillery Friday, December 20th from 6 until 9. Love Jeremy, dude. That's my dude right there. Love me some Jeremy. Him, Graham Alton, Ty Fleming. I need to do a big podcast with like those three guys. And if I can get Johnny Waters to come back up here from Florida, wouldn't that be fun? You know, what do y'all think? Should I get some entertainment as far as like people that provide entertainment here on the Outer Banks to be on the podcast with me? Maybe get Ty Fleming to come in, because you hear me talk about Ty a little bit. You hear me talk about Jeremy. You hear me talk about Graham Alton. Some of these individuals that have been mentioned numerous times on the podcast, I feel like I should have them in to talk about who they are and where you can hear them playing on the Outer Banks. That'd be a good idea. Might have to investigate that for 2025. Oh, Goombers. Here we go. Let me talk about this, and we'll wrap up the events with this. Coming up on Saturday, December 21st, Goombers, 3rd annual Bad Santa Party. Special night. It's a pop-up bar, live music from the old Sadler Band. And Damien as Bad Santa will be playing live music, or playing music from 9 p.m. until midnight. It's 21 and up, starts at 9 o'clock in the evening and goes until midnight at Goombers. That's on the 20th. What is that? Saturday, December 21st. There was another something. Where did I see it that I wanted to mention? It looked really, really awesome when I saw it the other day. It was like a punk rock night somewhere. Oh, gosh. Tell me I haven't missed it. See, this is what happens when I don't write things down. I just scroll over the website, and there's so many things on our website that you can go and be a part of. It's hard to really pin them all down properly. Duck the Halls at Red Sky on Friday, December 20th. Y'all, if I find it, I'll mention it next week. But right now, I'm not seeing it. Oh, all right. Look, we're just going to move along. So those are some of the events that are going on around the Outer Banks coming up in the near future. Please participate, be a part of, and go online to outerbanksthisweek.com and click on the events tab to see all of them in their entirety. All right, we're going to wrap this thing up. But first, a word from our friends Kara and Macy from the Dare Education Foundation.
Back by popular demand, the Dare Education Foundation Dueling Pianos signature event, presented by Town Bank, Friday, January 31st from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at 108 Budley in downtown Manteo.
Dance the night away to the New York Dueling Pianos while supporting Dare County Schools.
With a live auction and buy it now auction, fantastic food, and tasty beverages, this is guaranteed to be the party to start the year off the right way.
Get your tickets now at dareeducationfoundation.org. All money raised goes back to our teachers and kids.
It's a ton of fun for a great cause on Friday, January 31st at the Dare Education Foundation's Dueling Piano Signature Event.
All right. That, I'm trying to think if I forgot anything. I tried to look for that punk rock thing. It's coming up somewhere on the beach. I know that really helps y'all out a lot, but that's honestly, that's all I got to find it. I'll find it. I promise I'll bring it back up next week because it looked like a really cool show. I want to call it there was like a Nude Surfers or something. I don't think they're really naked, but like it's called the Nude Surfers. That was one of the bands. But anyway, that looks like it would be a cool show. All right. I want to thank Santa Claus for coming by. And again, this same Santa Claus gave me a Santa suit, which I wore recently to a party. And it was kind of a hit. So I appreciate him giving me that. I appreciate him stopping by and hanging out with me, talking Santa talk and Outer Banks talk and some of the favorite things that he likes. So Santa, thank you for that. Next week, hey, my buddy Joel from the Wreck Tiki Bar down in Hatteras is going to jump on the show with me. He is actually making his rounds with the Misfit bars right now, and he's going to give me his honest review of these bars. Being a bar owner and knowing kind of what to be looking for, he is going to come in and give us an honest review of the bars that he's hit so far of the Misfit bars. I'm not sure if he's gotten to all of them. I know he's trying to get to all of them before he gets on the podcast, but he may, I don't know. Hopefully he does. If not, we're going to go over the ones that he found, and then we'll just do another follow-up with him of the rest of them. So it's just what we'll have to do, and I'm totally comfortable with that. So, Joe, I look forward to seeing you next week, my friend, and telling me all about the Misfit bars and the tour that you've done so far. Well, that's it. I'm going to wrap this thing up. I'm heading out of here right now. Again, I appreciate Santa Claus for coming in. It's going to do it for episode number 94 of the podcast, all brought to you by Kelly's Automotive in Manio. If it has doors, it can be yours at Kelly's Automotive. Visit him online at kellysobxauto.com. Well, I'm out of here. Have yourself a great, wonderful rest of the week, and I'll see y'all again next week. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Y'all take care now. Bye-bye.
This has been another epic edition of the Outer Banks This Week podcast. Follow us on social media and be sure to listen every Thursday for a new episode.